Hidden behind wooden doors and simple exteriors, Amish homes contain fascinating treasures that have stood the test of time. From ingenious non-electric devices to handcrafted furniture that costs thousands of dollars, these 30 essential items reveal how the Amish have mastered the art of living simply while sacrificing nothing. Linoleum flooring. Walking into an authentic Amish home, you might be surprised to find modern-looking flooring beneath your feet. Despite their traditional lifestyle, many Amish families have embraced linoleum as their go-to flooring choice, and for good reasons that extend beyond mere practicality. This durable material has become a staple in their homes, covering everything from bustling kitchens to peaceful bedrooms. You'll find it's particularly popular in areas where spills and messes are common. After all, when you're cooking for a family of 8 or more, easy cleanup becomes a priority. Different Amish communities have varying views on flooring choices. The more traditional groups, like the Schwartz and Trubeer and Troyer Amish, stick to unvarnished hardwood floors, maintaining their connection to simpler times. It's worth noting that what many Amish folks call linoleum might actually be vinyl. But don't try correcting them on that unless you want a friendly debate about flooring materials. One thing's for certain. Whether you're in Lancaster County or Holmes County, you'll notice that Amish homes range from the plainest of plain to surprisingly fancy, and their flooring choices reflect this spectrum. Some families opt for basic single-color designs, while others might choose more intricate patterns that add a touch of personality to their living spaces. Spacious common rooms. The heart of any Amish home beats strongest in its common rooms, where life unfolds in all its simple glory. These aren't just rooms, they're the stage where daily life plays out in its fullest form. Picture this: a space where 5, 6, or even 12 children gather around their parents for evening prayers, where grandmother teaches the youngest ones to knit, and where the family shares 3 meals a day together. No phones or tablets in sight. What makes these spaces truly remarkable is their clever design. Many Amish families have mastered the art of the open floor plan long before it became a trendy term in modern architecture. The kitchen often flows seamlessly into the living area, creating a space that's both practical and inviting. During youth gatherings, these rooms transform into vibrant social hubs where dozens of young people come together for singing, games, and fellowship. The furniture might be simple, but the joy these rooms contain is anything but plain. It's not uncommon to find these spaces doubling as impromptu workshop areas during the day, where quilting frames take center stage, or where the week's baking fills the air with irresistible aromas. Some families have even been known to host their own church services in these rooms, with benches arranged in neat rows and hymns rising to the rafters. Non-electric lighting. Light has a way of finding its path into Amish homes, even without the convenience of electrical switches. The soft glow of propane and natural gas lanterns creates an atmosphere that modern LED bulbs simply can't match. These hardy fixtures hang from ceilings or stand guard in corners, casting warm light across family gatherings and evening activities. In the more conservative communities, oil lamps reign supreme, their gentle luminescence a testament to simpler times. While the light might be dimmer, there's something magical about how it dances across walls and creates shadows that no electric bulb could ever replicate. The ingenuity of Amish lighting solutions doesn't stop there. Some communities have embraced battery-powered lights, charging them through solar panels or generators. And here's a little-known fact that might make you chuckle. Many Amish homes actually have spots where light switches would go, not for their use, but for potential future homeowners who might want to add electricity. Talk about thinking ahead. The absence of electric lighting has led to some creative solutions. Powerful battery-operated lights that could probably guide ships to shore if needed, and strategic placement of windows to maximize natural light. During winter evenings when darkness falls early, you might find families gathered around a central light source, sharing stories or working on crafts, their faces glowing in the warm light of tradition. Propane or natural gas refrigerators. The gentle hum of a modern refrigerator might be absent in Amish homes, but that doesn't mean they're living without cold storage. Classic refrigerators from companies like Crystal Cold and Easy Freeze keep food fresh using propane or natural gas, proving that sometimes the old ways work just fine. These sturdy appliances have become a cornerstone of Amish kitchen life, quietly doing their job without needing a single volt of electricity. They might look like something from your grandmother's kitchen, but these reliable machines keep milk just as cold as any fancy smart fridge, though they won't tell you when you're running low. In communities where even gas-powered refrigerators are considered too modern, families get creative with their cooling solutions. Ice boxes and ice houses dot the landscape, serving as natural refrigeration units that would make any modern-day survivalist jealous. Some areas have even developed their own mini ice economy, with commercial ice vending machines popping up like cold oases in the countryside. The local Iceman still makes his rounds in certain communities, bringing blocks of ice to homes just like in the old days, though nowadays he might arrive in a horse-drawn buggy instead of the traditional ice wagon. These ice-based cooling systems require careful planning and regular maintenance, but they've kept Amish families' food fresh for generations. The art of ice storage has been perfected over decades, with families developing their own tricks for making ice last longer. Some even claim they can tell the quality of ice just by looking at it, though that might just be a tale they tell to impress the English neighbors. The only product we'll ever promote on our channel is a book by Claude Davis, a veteran prepper, about 126 superfoods and preservation methods from crisis times like the Great Depression and wartime that are impossible to find elsewhere. We decided to promote his book because we are the last generation able to share these techniques and superfoods to our children or grandchildren. It would be a shame to see this information about highly nutritious foods and preservation methods to survive crises disappear. You can also find a book about herbal remedies from Nicole Apelian on their store. If you're watching this on TV, you can look up our channel, Frugal Solutions, on your phone or tablet and find the books by clicking the link in our channel description or any other video description. Basements. Deep beneath the floorboards of Amish homes lies a world of practical magic, the basement. These underground spaces serve as the beating heart of household operations, where the fruits of summer labor are transformed into winter sustenance. Row upon row of carefully preserved canned goods line sturdy shelves, creating a colorful display that would make any homesteader proud. The gentle splash of washing machines powered by compressed air or generators echoes through these cool chambers, while children's laughter sometimes filters down from above. During the scorching heat of summer, these subterranean havens become natural air conditioning units for families seeking relief from the sun. Without modern cooling systems, many Amish families retreat to their basements during the hottest parts of the day, turning necessity into opportunity for family bonding. Some particularly innovative families have even set up makeshift workout areas in their basements. Who needs an expensive gym membership when you can get fit while canning tomatoes? Church services sometimes find their way down here too, with rows of benches carefully arranged between the preserves and the laundry lines. The acoustics might not be perfect, but the spirit of community rings true regardless of the setting. In winter, these spaces transform again, becoming cozy refuges where families gather to sort seeds for spring planting or repair harnesses by lantern light. The basement truly serves as a year-round hub of activity, adapting to the family's needs as seamlessly as the changing seasons. Wooden furniture. Crafted with hands that have learned their trade through generations of experience, Amish furniture tells stories without saying a word. Each piece stands as a testament to the marriage of function and form, where every joint and curve serves a purpose. The rich grains of oak, cherry, and maple come alive under skilled hands, creating pieces that will likely outlast their makers. You won't find any particle board or prefabricated parts here, just solid wood transformed by patience and skill into something both beautiful and useful. The simplicity of Amish furniture design speaks to a deeper philosophy about life and possessions. These artisans believe that true beauty lies in utility and craftsmanship rather than flashy ornaments or trendy styles. A dining table might serve for 50 years or more, its surface marked by countless family meals, homework sessions, and friendly gatherings. The finish is often minimal, with many pieces sporting nothing more than a light stain or oil to protect the wood while letting its natural beauty shine through. Some pieces even arrive at their new homes with a note explaining the type of wood used and the name of the craftsman who built it, though good luck trying to email them a thank you message. The furniture business has become such an important part of many Amish communities that some workshops now use pneumatic tools powered by compressed air, proving that tradition can adapt while staying true to its roots. These craftsmen take such pride in their work that they often say they don't build furniture, they build heirlooms. And judging by the number of Amish-made pieces that have been passed down through multiple generations, they might just be right. Handmade quilts. Stitch by patient stitch, Amish quilters create masterpieces that tell stories of family, tradition, and incredible skill. These aren't your average blankets. Some quilts take months to complete, with each piece carefully selected and sewn by hand. The most intricate designs can contain thousands of individual pieces, all coming together to create stunning patterns that have been passed down through generations. What's particularly fascinating is how these quilts often break the stereotype of Amish simplicity. They burst with bold colors and dynamic patterns that could make a modern artist jealous. The value of these handcrafted treasures goes far beyond their practical use. While a machine-made quilt might sell for $100 at a department store, a well-crafted Amish quilt can fetch several $1,000s. But good luck trying to convince an Amish grandmother to part with her favorite piece. These quilts become family heirlooms, each carrying its own history. Some families can trace the story of a single quilt through 4 or 5 generations, remembering who made it, when it was given, and all the babies it has kept warm over the decades. The quilting tradition also serves as a social activity, with women gathering for quilting bees that combine work with fellowship. You might hear them sharing the latest community news while their nimble fingers create intricate patterns, though they'd probably tell you that what happens at the quilting bee stays at the quilting bee. Wooden cabinets. Practicality meets craftsmanship in the kitchen, where wooden cabinets stand ready to organize the busy life of an Amish household. Unlike modern cabinets with their soft, close hinges and automatic drawers, these sturdy wooden structures rely on good old-fashioned elbow grease and well-crafted joints. Each cabinet is typically custom-built to fit the specific needs of the family, maximizing every inch of available space. After all, when you're storing enough food to feed a family of 8 through winter, every cubic inch counts. The open shelving design commonly found in Amish kitchens might seem counterintuitive to those used to hiding everything behind cabinet doors, but it serves a practical purpose. Everything is visible and easily accessible, which comes in handy when you're canning hundreds of jars of vegetables or preparing a meal for 20 people. These cabinets often feature special touches that reveal the builder's experience with Amish life. Extra deep shelves for large preserving pots, specially sized spaces for bulk dry goods, and sometimes even hidden compartments that would make a treasure hunter excited. The wood used in these cabinets is chosen not just for its appearance, but for its durability. Pine might be cheaper, but you'll often find oak or maple in Amish kitchens because they know these woods will stand up to decades of daily use. And while these cabinets might not have fancy hardware or built-in spice racks, they're designed with a deep understanding of what makes a kitchen truly functional. Outdoor porch or veranda. As day fades into evening, the porch becomes the social center of Amish life. Sturdy rocking chairs and benches, crafted from local pine or oak, invite family members to pause and enjoy the simple pleasure of watching the world go by. These porches serve as more than just an architectural feature. They're the community's informal gathering spots, where neighbors stop to chat, young folks come to court, and elderly members share wisdom while shelling peas or cleaning carrots fresh from the garden. During summer evenings, these spaces transform into natural cooling stations, catching every available breeze. You might find 3 generations sitting together, the older folks telling stories about the old days, while children play quiet games nearby. The porch is where many business deals are struck, where young couples first catch each other's eye, and where grandparents teach youngsters about weather prediction by watching the clouds roll in. In winter, these same porches offer a sheltered spot to watch snowflakes drift down, though visits tend to be shorter when the temperature drops. Some families have even turned their porches into seasonal workspaces, bringing out quilting frames or setting up stations for preparing vegetables for canning. The gentle creak of rocking chairs and the soft murmur of conversations create a soundtrack that hasn't changed much in the last century, proving that some traditions are worth preserving. Indoor, wood stove, or fireplace. During the coldest months of winter, when temperatures drop below freezing, the wood stove becomes the heart and soul of an Amish home. These sturdy cast iron fixtures do much more than just provide warmth. They're often the primary cooking source, the clothes dryer, and the family gathering spot, all rolled into one. Many Amish families have perfected the art of cooking entire meals using just their wood stove, creating dishes that would make a professional chef's fancy gas range look complicated. The real trick, as any Amish cook will tell you, is knowing exactly how many pieces of maple wood it takes to bake the perfect loaf of bread. The ritual of maintaining a wood stove has its own rhythm in Amish households. Children learn early on about different types of wood and their burning properties. Oak for long-lasting heat, pine for quick warmth on chilly mornings, and cherry for a pleasant aroma. Families often spend the warmer months preparing for winter, cutting and stacking wood in precise patterns that would put a mathematician to shame. Some homes feature elaborate systems of pulleys and ropes to move wood from outdoor storage to indoor stove without having to brave the winter weather too often. The most experienced wood stove users can even regulate temperature with remarkable precision, adding or removing logs to maintain the perfect heat for whatever they're cooking. On particularly cold nights, you might find the whole family sleeping near the stove, with parents taking turns adding wood to keep everyone cozy until dawn. Prayer room or chapel space. Faith forms the foundation of Amish life, and dedicated prayer spaces within their homes reflect this deep spiritual commitment. These rooms might seem sparse to outsiders, but their simplicity serves a purpose, removing worldly distractions to focus on spiritual connection. You won't find ornate decorations or elaborate furnishings here. Instead, these spaces often contain just the essentials, perhaps a few wooden benches, some well-worn prayer books, and maybe a simple table for family devotions. The walls are typically bare, allowing minds to focus on prayer rather than decor. In larger Amish households, these spaces sometimes double as mini churches, hosting small worship services when weather makes travel difficult or when community members are ill. The transformation from quiet prayer room to vibrant worship space happens with remarkable efficiency. Benches appear from storage, hymnals are distributed, and suddenly the room fills with the sound of voices raised in song. These spaces also serve as quiet retreats during busy days where family members can step away from their work for moments of private prayer and reflection. Some families have even incorporated clever design elements, like removable walls that can expand the space for larger gatherings or special occasions. The acoustics in these rooms, whether by accident or design, often enhance the sound of singing and prayer, creating a natural amplification that adds to the spiritual atmosphere. Drying racks for clothes. Modern dryers might promise fluffy towels in 30 minutes, but Amish families have perfected the art of air-drying clothes down to a science. Their homes feature an impressive array of drying solutions, from retractable indoor racks that disappear into the ceiling when not in use, to elaborate outdoor systems that can handle laundry for a family of 12. During winter months, these drying racks often get stationed near wood stoves, creating an efficient system that uses heat that would otherwise go to waste. The placement of these racks has become something of an art form. Ask any Amish homemaker about the optimal arrangement for maximum drying efficiency, and you might get a lecture worthy of a physics professor. The benefits of this traditional drying method extend beyond just saving energy. Clothes dried in fresh air and sunshine have a distinctive crispness that no dryer sheet can replicate. Plus, the natural antibacterial properties of sunlight help keep clothes fresh and clean. Many Amish families have developed their own special techniques for preventing wrinkles without electricity, from precise folding methods to timing the laundry just right with the day's humidity levels. Some particularly clever arrangements include pulley systems that allow racks to be raised and lowered, making it easier to hang clothes without stretching or straining. During good weather, the sight of clean laundry swaying in the breeze has become such a characteristic part of Amish landscapes that tourists sometimes stop to take pictures, though the families probably wish they wouldn't. Simple windows. Natural light streams through the carefully planned windows of Amish homes, where the design philosophy focuses on practicality over decoration. These openings to the outside world serve multiple purposes beyond just letting in sunshine. They're crucial for ventilation in summer, passive solar heating in winter, and connecting with the natural rhythms of the day. The wooden frames, typically crafted from sturdy local lumber, are built to last for generations, though you might notice they're positioned a bit differently than in typical modern homes. The The curtains hanging in these windows tell their own story of Amish practicality. Unlike the elaborate window treatments you might find in modern homes, Amish windows usually feature simple, solid-colored curtains or basic roller shades. These aren't just for show. They play a vital role in temperature regulation throughout the year. During summer, light-colored curtains reflect heat while allowing natural light to filter through. In winter, heavier fabrics help keep precious warmth inside. Some families have even developed their own unique systems for adjusting curtains throughout the day to maximize natural heating and cooling. The size of these windows often surprises visitors. They're typically larger than you might expect, especially in newer Amish homes. This isn't just about aesthetics. It's a practical choice that reduces the need for artificial lighting during daylight hours. Many Amish builders have become experts at positioning windows to capture cross breezes in summer and solar heat in winter, creating natural climate control systems that would make any modern green architect proud. Potbelly stove. The humble potbelly stove has earned its place as a beloved fixture in countless Amish households. These cast iron workhorses, with their distinctive round bellies and stubby legs, pack more heating power per square inch than you might expect. A well-maintained potbelly stove can heat a good-sized room using just a fraction of the wood needed for a larger heating stove, making them particularly popular in smaller homes or workshop spaces. Some families have even turned the art of loading these stoves into a friendly competition. Apparently, getting exactly 8 hours of heat from 3 pieces of wood is something of a local bragging right. Beyond their heating capabilities, these stoves often become impromptu cooking surfaces during power outages, though for Amish families, every day is essentially a power outage by choice. The flat-top surface of a potbelly stove turns out to be perfect for keeping a pot of coffee warm or slowly simmering a pot of soup. The heat radiating from the stove's rounded sides creates a natural convection current in the room, distributing warmth more evenly than you might expect from such a simple device. Many Amish families have passed down their potbelly stoves through multiple generations, along with the accumulated wisdom of how to get the best performance from these durable heaters. It's not uncommon to find stoves that have been in continuous use for 50 years or more, still working as efficiently as the day they were first installed. Hardwood tables. The dining table stands as the centerpiece of Amish family life, where meals, conversations, and daily activities converge. Built from solid hardwoods like oak, maple, or cherry, these tables are engineered to withstand decades of daily use. Many families can trace the history of their table through multiple generations, each scratch and mark telling a story of countless shared meals, late-night conversations, and family gatherings. The craftsmanship involved in creating these tables goes far beyond simple woodworking. It's an art form passed down through generations of Amish furniture makers. These aren't just eating surfaces, they're multi-purpose workstations where everything from homework to quilting takes place. The size of an Amish dining table often reflects the size of the family it serves, with many extending to accommodate 12 or more people comfortably. Some clever designs include hidden leaves that can be pulled out for larger gatherings, though you won't find any hydraulic mechanisms here. Just good old-fashioned wooden slides and pegs. The tables are typically finished with natural oils or simple varnishes that allow the wood's natural beauty to shine through while protecting the surface from daily wear and tear. What's particularly impressive is how these tables are constructed without using any metal fasteners. Instead, traditional joinery techniques create connections that actually grow stronger over time as the wood ages. Many Amish craftsmen joke that their tables are built so well they might survive the next flood, though they're quick to add that they're not eager to test that theory. Homemade canned goods. When autumn arrives, Amish kitchens transform into bustling food preservation centers. The art of canning isn't just a hobby. It's a vital tradition that ensures families have access to fresh-tasting food throughout the year. Rows upon rows of glass jars line basement shelves filled with everything from tangy dill pickles to sweet strawberry preserves. A typical Amish family might can anywhere from 500 to 1,000 jars of food each year, enough to feed a large family and have plenty to share with neighbors in need. The preservation process follows time-tested methods passed down through generations. Vegetables from the family garden, fruits from nearby orchards, and even meat from their own livestock all find their way into these jars. Each family usually has their own special recipes, secret blends of spices for pickles, or unique combinations of fruits for jams that have been perfected over decades. Some of these recipes are so closely guarded that they're only shared through marriage. The timing of canning season becomes a community event, with families often working together to process large batches of produce. It's not uncommon for several generations to work side by side, with grandmothers teaching younger family members the subtle signs of a proper seal or the exact moment when the tomato sauce has reached the perfect thickness. One old-timer likes to say you can tell a good batch of pickles by the sound they make when you shake the jar, though nobody's quite sure what sound they're supposed to make. Handcrafted tools. Necessity breeds invention, and Amish craftsmen have developed an impressive array of hand-powered tools to accomplish almost any task. From specialized woodworking implements to innovative farming equipment, these tools represent generations of practical problem solving. Many of these items are made from locally sourced materials, with handles carved from native hardwoods and metal parts forged in community blacksmith shops. The craftsmanship is so precise that some tools made 50 years ago are still in daily use, having been maintained and repaired rather than replaced. The process of creating these tools involves both skill and creativity. A seemingly simple hand plane might require dozens of careful adjustments before it's ready for use. Plows and other farming implements are often modified to work better with horsepower, showing how traditional designs can be adapted for specific needs. The Amish approach to tool making focuses on durability and repairability. If something breaks, it should be fixable with basic skills and available materials. This philosophy has led to some remarkably innovative designs, like a foot-powered drill press that can match the precision of its electric counterpart, or a water-powered grinding wheel that keeps tools sharp without needing any electricity. Local tool makers often become known for their specialties. One might excel at creating perfectly balanced axes, while another might be the go-to person for precision measuring tools. Rumspringa Room. Hidden away in many Amish homes, you'll find a special space dedicated to a unique tradition, the Rumspringa Room. During Rumspringa, young Amish people explore life beyond their community's boundaries before deciding whether to commit to the Amish way of life. These rooms often serve as gathering places where youth can socialize in a safe, supervised environment while experiencing some aspects of the outside world. Some families set aside their basement or a spare room for this purpose, creating a space that bridges the gap between Amish tradition and modern curiosity. These rooms might contain items not typically found in other parts of an Amish home, perhaps a battery-powered radio, board games, or even modern musical instruments. It's a place where young people can gather to sing, play games, and discuss their experiences of both the Amish and English non-Amish worlds. The atmosphere in these rooms strikes a careful balance, traditional enough to maintain Amish values, yet relaxed enough to allow young people some freedom to explore their identities. Parents often take a hands-off approach to these spaces, understanding that this period of exploration is crucial for their children's development. Some communities have even developed their own unique traditions around these rooms, like special youth gatherings where traditional hymns might be sung alongside more contemporary songs, all without instrumental accompaniment, of course. The existence of these rooms shows how Amish communities have found ways to accommodate young people's need for expression while maintaining their core values. Root cellar. Beneath the floorboards of many Amish homes lies a treasure trove of sustenance, the root cellar. These underground storage spaces maintain a naturally cool temperature year-round, hovering between 45 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit, making them perfect for preserving vegetables without electricity. The earthy aroma that greets visitors to these cellars tells the story of a successful harvest. Rows of potatoes nestled in sand, carrots buried in sawdust, and apples carefully wrapped in newspaper to prevent them from touching each other. A well-maintained root cellar can keep produce fresh for months, allowing families to enjoy homegrown vegetables well into the winter months. The design of these cellars reflects generations of practical knowledge. Ventilation systems, often consisting of simple pipes that extend to the surface, create air circulation that prevents mold and helps regulate humidity. Many Amish families have developed their own organizational systems, with different zones for various types of produce. Root vegetables go in one area, while apples and pears are stored separately to prevent their natural gases from ripening other produce too quickly. Some families joke that their root cellar has better organization than the local grocery store. And they might be right. Each family seems to have their own special tricks for maximizing storage life, from specific types of sand for potato storage to preferred varieties of newspaper for wrapping apples. During harvest season, these cellars become bustling hubs of activity as families work together to properly store their crops for the winter months ahead. The careful arrangement of shelves and bins maximizes storage space while allowing easy access to everything, proving that sometimes the old ways are still the best ways. Homemade soap. Creating soap from scratch remains a cherished tradition in Amish households, where the process combines practical necessity with artisanal craftsmanship. Each family typically has their own special recipe, passed down through generations and refined through years of experience. The basic ingredients might seem simple: lye, animal fats or vegetable oils, and water, but the magic lies in the precise measurements and timing. Many Amish soap makers can tell by smell and texture alone whether a batch will turn out just right. Some even claim they can predict the weather based on how their soap cures, though that might be stretching the truth a bit. The soap-making process often becomes a family affair, with each member having their specific role. Someone might be in charge of rendering the fats, while another family member carefully measures the lye solution. Different herbs and natural materials are added for various purposes: oatmeal for scrubbing, lavender for its calming scent, or mint for its refreshing properties. The resulting bars serve multiple purposes in Amish households, from personal hygiene to laundry, and even as gifts for special occasions. Unlike commercial soaps that often contain harsh chemicals and artificial fragrances, these homemade versions are gentle enough for the most sensitive skin while still being tough enough to handle the dirtiest farm clothes. Some Amish soap makers have become so skilled at their craft that their soaps are sought after by non-Amish neighbors who appreciate the quality and natural ingredients. The tradition continues to thrive, with young people learning the craft from their elders, ensuring that this practical art form will continue for generations to come. Hand-woven rugs. The rhythmic clatter of the loom marks time in many Amish homes as colorful rugs take shape under skilled hands. These rugs do more than just cover floors. They represent a practical form of recycling, as many are made from worn-out clothing and fabric scraps that might otherwise go to waste. The patterns that emerge from these salvaged materials tell stories of the family's history. Bits of father's old work shirt might end up next to strips from mother's faded apron, creating a lasting memory woven into the fabric of daily life. The weaving techniques used have been refined over centuries, with each community developing its own signature styles and patterns. Some rugs feature bold stripes, while others showcase intricate geometric designs. The process itself requires both physical strength and careful attention to detail, maintaining even tension across the loom while ensuring each row is packed tightly enough to create a durable finished product. Many Amish women can gauge the final size of a rug just by weighing the pile of fabric strips they've prepared, a skill that comes from years of experience. The craft often becomes a social activity, with women gathering to work on larger rugs together, sharing stories and tips as they weave. Most impressive, perhaps, is how these rugs seem to become more beautiful with age and use, their colors mellowing and patterns softening as generations of feet pass over them. Some families have rugs that have been in continuous use for over 50 years, still showing their original patterns while telling the story of countless footsteps across their surface. These rugs serve as both practical floor coverings and living history, preserving family memories in every carefully woven strip. Homemade candles. Natural light takes on a special meaning in Amish homes, where the gentle flicker of handmade candles illuminates evening activities. These aren't your typical store-bought candles. Each one represents hours of careful work, from rendering beeswax or tallow to achieving the perfect wick size for optimal burning. The process begins with collecting raw materials, often from the family's own beehives or as a byproduct of butchering. Some families have maintained relationships with local beekeepers for generations, trading goods or services for high-quality beeswax that produces clean-burning, naturally fragrant candles. The art of candle making in Amish communities combines time-tested techniques with practical innovation. Each family tends to have their own special method for achieving the perfect candle. Some swear by adding a tiny bit of coconut oil to their beeswax for a longer burn time, while others maintain that pure tallow produces the brightest flame. The most skilled candle makers can tell by touch alone when melted wax has reached the right temperature for pouring. Young children often help by rolling smaller candles or preparing wicks, learning skills that have been passed down through generations. Despite the availability of battery-powered lights, many families prefer candlelight for its soft, natural glow and connection to tradition. One elderly craftsman jokes that his candles are so well made they could light up a barn dance, though he's quick to add that's not what they're used for. The finished candles are stored carefully, often in cool basement rooms where they won't melt or warp, ready to provide light throughout the year. Mason jars. Step into any Amish kitchen and you'll likely find yourself surrounded by rows upon rows of mason jars, each one telling its own story of harvest and preservation. These humble glass containers serve as the backbone of the Amish food storage system, holding everything from homemade pickles to freshly canned peaches. A typical Amish family might use hundreds of these jars throughout the year, with some households maintaining collections that have been passed down through multiple generations. The satisfying ping of a properly sealed jar lid has become music to the ears of experienced canners, signaling another successful batch ready for storage. The versatility of mason jars in Amish households goes far beyond just food storage. They become drinking glasses at mealtime, vases for wildflower arrangements, and containers for homemade cleaning solutions. Many families have developed elaborate organizing systems for their jar collections, with different sizes designated for specific purposes. Large half-gallon jars might hold sauerkraut, while smaller pint jars are perfect for jams and jellies. The commitment to reusing these jars shows the Amish dedication to avoiding waste. Some jars in active use can be traced back 50 years or more, their glass showing slight purple tinting from decades of sun exposure. Each jar carries its own history, from the slight chips on the rims that tell tales of countless openings and closings, to the handwritten labels that preserve family recipes and memories of harvests past. One grandmother claims she can identify her own jars mixed in with borrowed ones just by feeling the rims, though her children suspect she's just memorized which ones have chips in specific spots. Metal wash tubs. Laundry day takes on a whole new meaning when you're working with metal wash tubs, a staple in Amish households where electric washing machines aren't an option. These sturdy vessels, often passed down through generations, have witnessed countless hours of family cooperation and hard work. The largest tubs can hold enough water and clothes for a family of 10 or more, though moving them when full requires the strength of several people, or, as one Amish father puts it, 2 teenagers and a strong sense of motivation. The process of washing clothes in these tubs has evolved into a precise science. Families often arrange multiple tubs in a sequence, one for initial washing, another for rinsing, and sometimes a third for final rinsing. The water is heated on wood stoves or using propane, and special long-handled stirring tools help protect hands from hot water and harsh soaps. Many families have developed their own techniques for maximizing efficiency, like using special washboards for different types of fabrics or adding specific herbs to the rinse water for freshness. The most impressive part might be how these simple tubs have fostered a sense of community. Laundry days often become social events with multiple families working together to share the labor and make the task more enjoyable. Some communities even have designated laundry houses where several families can work simultaneously, turning what could be a lonely chore into an opportunity for fellowship and sharing news. The sounds of splashing water, scrubbing, and friendly conversation create a rhythm that has remained unchanged for generations. Wooden spoons and utensils. Kitchen drawers in Amish homes tell their own stories through collections of well-worn wooden utensils, each one shaped by years of stirring, mixing, and serving. These aren't just cooking tools, they're family heirlooms that carry the memories of countless meals and gatherings. Made from hardwoods like maple, cherry, or hickory, these utensils often begin their lives in local workshops, where craftsmen carefully select wood grain patterns that will hold up to decades of use. Some families can trace their favorite stirring spoon back 3 or 4 generations, its handle worn smooth by thousands of hands and countless batches of soup. The variety of wooden utensils in an Amish kitchen might surprise visitors expecting only basic spoons. Specially shaped paddles help turn sauerkraut in large crocks, while long-handled spoons keep hands safely away from hot stoves. Particular favorites are the tasting spoons, smaller utensils perfect for checking seasoning in soups and stews. Many cooks claim their wooden spoons actually improve the taste of food, though scientists might disagree. The natural properties of wood make these tools especially valuable in the kitchen. They won't scratch expensive cookware, they don't conduct heat like metal utensils, and they develop a natural patina that becomes increasingly non-stick over time. Each family seems to have their own method for caring for these precious tools. Some rub them with mineral oil after washing, while others swear by a light coating of beeswax to protect the wood. One grandmother insists that her wooden spoons cook better on Sundays, though that might have more to do with her special recipes than the utensils themselves. Lanterns. When darkness falls across Amish communities, kerosene and oil lanterns spring to life, casting warm pools of light through windows and across porches. These trusty illuminators serve as more than just light sources. They're essential tools that help maintain the rhythm of daily life without electricity. The gentle hiss of a well-maintained lantern has become such a familiar sound that many Amish children can identify different types of lanterns just by their sound. Each household typically owns several different styles, from small hand-carried models perfect for quick trips to the barn to larger fixed lanterns that provide steady light for family gatherings. The care and maintenance of these lanterns has evolved into something of an art form among Amish families. Regular cleaning of glass globes, trimming of wicks, and proper fuel mixing are skills passed down through generations. Some particularly innovative families have developed their own modifications, special reflectors to increase light output, or custom-made shields to direct light where it's needed most. The choice of fuel can spark lively debates at community gatherings, with some insisting that pure kerosene burns cleanest, while others advocate for various oil blends. Most fascinating, perhaps, is how these lanterns have influenced the layout of Amish homes. Furniture arrangements and work areas are carefully planned around optimal lantern placement. One father jokes that you can tell an Amish home's age by counting the number of smoke marks on the ceiling, though modern lanterns burn much cleaner than their ancestors. Spinning wheel. The gentle whirring of spinning wheels still echoes through many Amish homes where the ancient art of turning fiber into thread continues to thrive. These traditional machines, often beautiful pieces of craftsmanship in their own right, transform raw wool, flax, and cotton into usable thread for clothing and textiles. A skilled spinner can produce thread so fine and even that it rivals machine-made products, though they might modestly claim it's all in the practice. The most experienced spinners can even work in near darkness, judging the quality of their thread by touch alone. The process begins long before anyone sits at the wheel with careful selection and preparation of fibers. Wool must be washed, carded, and sometimes dyed before spinning can begin. Each type of fiber requires its own technique. Wool needs a gentle touch, while flax demands firmer handling. Young girls often begin learning to spin on smaller wheels designed for practice, gradually working their way up to the full-sized wheels used for production spinning. The rhythm of the spinning wheel becomes almost meditative, with experienced spinners able to maintain perfectly consistent thread while participating in family conversations. Some of the most treasured spinning wheels in Amish communities have fascinating histories. One family claims their wheel traveled across the Atlantic in the 17th century, though the wooden wheel has probably been replaced a few times since then. The tradition of spinning continues to adapt to modern needs, with some families now spinning specialized yarns for particular projects or even to sell to non-Amish crafters who appreciate the quality of hand-spun thread. Wash basins. Personal hygiene and cleanliness hold special importance in Amish households, where wash basins serve as daily reminders of these values. Located strategically throughout the home, these durable vessels range from simple stainless steel bowls to ornate copper basins that have been passed down through generations. Multiple basins often occupy different spaces: a large one in the kitchen for washing dishes, medium-sized ones in bedrooms for morning routines, and smaller ones near entrances for quick hand washing after outdoor work. The materials used for these basins often reflect both practicality and family history. Copper basins, while more expensive, are prized for their natural antimicrobial properties and their ability to heat water more quickly when placed near a stove. Stainless steel options offer durability and easy maintenance, while some families still treasure old porcelain basins decorated with simple patterns. Many Amish craftsmen have developed their own specialized designs, creating basins with subtle drainage channels or built-in soap holders. The placement of these basins reveals much about family life: higher ones for adults, lower ones for children, and extra sturdy ones in mudroom areas where farmers clean up after fieldwork. One clever grandfather created a tilting mechanism for his workshop basin that allows it to empty without lifting, though he claims it was just to avoid hearing his wife remind him to empty it. Sewing machines. The steady rhythm of foot-powered sewing machines provides a constant backdrop to daily life in Amish homes. These treadle-operated machines, often vintage Singers or similar models dating back 50 to 100 years, prove that good design never goes out of style. Most families own multiple machines, each dedicated to specific tasks: one for everyday clothing repairs, another for quilting, and sometimes a specialized machine for leather or heavy fabrics. The lack of electricity has never hindered productivity. Skilled operators can maintain steady stitching speeds that rival modern electric machines. The maintenance of these mechanical workhorses has become something of a specialized art form in Amish communities. Regular oiling, tension adjustments, and timing calibrations are skills passed down through generations. Some families can trace the history of their machines back several generations, with repair records meticulously kept in family notebooks. The most remarkable aspect might be how these machines have adapted to changing needs while maintaining their traditional operation. Modern replaceable parts are carefully fitted to vintage bases, allowing these centenarian machines to handle contemporary materials with ease. Young girls typically begin learning to sew on these machines around age 10, starting with simple projects and gradually working up to complex quilts and clothing. One community's most experienced seamstress claims she can tell who's sewing in another room just by the sound of their treadling. Each person develops their own unique rhythm. Laundry wringers. Manual laundry wringers stand as testament to the ingenuity of human-powered machinery in Amish homes. These mechanical marvels, with their heavy rubber rollers and precision-geared mechanisms, transform the chore of wringing out wet laundry into an almost effortless task. Some of the oldest wringers still in use date back to the 1940s, their cast iron frames showing barely any wear despite decades of continuous service. The clever design allows even younger family members to help with laundry day, though there's always that one uncle who warns the children about getting their fingers too close to the rollers. The efficiency of these devices truly shines during the weekly laundry routine. Mounted securely near wash basins or between rinse tubs, they can process an entire family's worth of laundry in just a few hours. The pressure between the rollers can be adjusted for different types of fabric: lighter for delicate items, heavier for work clothes and linens. Many families have developed their own techniques for feeding items through the wringer, with special folds for sheets and specific methods for wringing out heavy items like rugs or blankets. The sound of water splashing back into the wash tub as items pass through the wringer has become such a familiar part of laundry day that some claim they can't sleep during their usual laundry time if they're away from home. Modern rubber compounds have made replacement rollers more durable than the originals, though some families still use rollers that are decades old, claiming they've developed just the right amount of grip over years of use.